back to 3D a little bit more.
Gonna join us and sculpt something
Yeah,
tonight.
exactly.
That's cool. I'm picking the concept right now.
What type of style are you looking at?
Well, usually I'm up to more realistic, but I think I'll pick something uh, little and stylized so I can just, well, get complete
Hmm.
something
Yeah,
in one seat, if I can say so.
yeah. I don't know. Recently, I don't know. Over the years, always thought that I'd start with realism, so that I know the fundamentals and can, like, how would you put it in English? You can simplify shapes or realistic features to have a stylized look. But I think you have to practice what you want to learn, and fundamentals is fundamentals. I don't know. I think I overcomplicate things. That's the point I'm trying to make. Um, so practice what you actually want to learn. That is. By the way, Expedition. I've actually seen some of your. You've been posting quite a lot, and I think I see a progression. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. I grind more or less every day, no matter if I put it on YouTube or not. It's a couple hours minimum.
Yeah. Well, it's impressive because I don't grind as much these days. So when I see other people doing a lot of progression, or what do you say? Well, I'm impressed. It's pretty awesome to see.
Thank you.
Maybe you're not looking at it the same because it's, it's like looking in the mirror. It's don't realize the changes.
Yeah, that's true. I don't feel like I'm having that much, progression. But yeah, thank you.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
How is everyone doing?
Yeah.
hanging in there. Gonna have some coffee.
The best part.
I've just had mine. You told me you're on your... How many coffees you had so far?
At least 8 cups by now.
A day?
I can see that massive thermos next to you.
Yeah.
It's looking suspicious.
It's prepared.
It's this one.
Oh,
It's always by my side.
is this for coffee?
Yeah,
Wow.
all day.
I
The
thought 2
first thing I
cups a
do,
day.
yeah,
Okay.
the first thing I do every morning is put the coffee on, and then it's all day.
I thought 2 cups a day is a lot, but now I think it's not.
And it's like a cowboy coffee as well, Norwegian, very strong.
Do you slowly sip it, or do you take it in like rounds? What's the insertion like?
It depends how hot it is, I guess. But yeah, sip it.
Black coffee or with milk?
Black.
Black.
Yeah.
It's got you got to have a black coffee if you want to appreciate it, huh?
Yep. 100%.
I like milk. I don't know how people can drink coffee without, milk. I can drink it without sugar or anything else, just coffee and milk. But it's hard for me if it's no milk in it.
Acquired taste.
It is for sure. But I've been drinking coffee since I was very young.
Hello, Andres. Hello, Robber. Swiss.
Hello.
How's everyone doing today? I'll open the chats up as well. Hey. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Denmark.
What's the 3D scene out like over there?
I don't know, man.
Anything good happening?
I kind of, how do you say? Not much happening actually. That's also why I bumped in here. Now I had the opportunity to sit with some other people also sculpturing and such.
Perfect. We need to save the abandoned warriors in their countries where there's no people around them.
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite difficult to find a company. I mean, in your, let's say, city, because everyone I know who practice in 3D are not from my city.
Aren't we all kind of reclusive as well? Most of us are introverted.
That's also
I think you have to be.
affects.
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely use this like sculpturing or drawing or such. I've been doing it for like 10, 11 years now. Just started doing sculpturing 1 year ago, and it's always been like a way for me to just think my life through, I guess.
Oh man, it's so relaxing. I mean,
Yeah.
look at me now, like got lots to do, but still doing a bit of sculpting is relaxing, you know. It's not like work for me. Wouldn't consider it like that. Sometimes it is. I'm not gonna lie, you know, like it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes, like, especially when it is your job, you know, and there's a day that you don't necessarily want to do it, or then it becomes a bit more of like a requirement. But there's so many ways around that eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like it sometimes at the what do you call, like, borderline obsession with finishing up a piece or something. It can go from being a healthy thing to a very unhealthy thing, for me at least. When there's some work I want to finish up, or I don't know, man, it's just I've been in it for a long time now, and I haven't really figured out why I keep on doing it when I'm like getting an obsession about something and then starting to like neglect my own life or what's in the backseat, because I'm getting obsessed with finishing off a model or something.
Yeah, it's always nice to have other people to give you a bit of perspective, or like see from a distance of where you are. I think that's one benefit of people that sort of like come to these and do courses and stuff.
Yeah.
They get to gauge. Like, I've been talking to a lot of post students recently, in one-on-ones, and it's just like, it's nice to hear what they really appreciate out of it. And it is mostly having the confidence that they're like not doing the wrong thing and they're on track.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you want to be thinking about. You want to be like getting ahead with it.
Yeah. It is very easy to get confused or on what to focus on, like, to improve your skill, or as I mentioned earlier, I used to draw and illustrate, both like traditionally and digitally, and then transitioned over to like learn to use ZBrush. And for me, the issue is also like just the software itself can be a headache sometimes. So having someone to teach you how to use it when you run into a problem or something is really good.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a student about precisely this yesterday. So it's funny that you're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone has the same issues.
Yeah.
And it's just like being aware enough to know that and you seem pretty aware. So that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, the internet is your best friend in that case. If you're good at researching, then you can solve a lot of problems on your own. But it's always easier to have someone to ask.
Yeah, it's definitely easier nowadays. But it's one of those it's one of those things you can only really appreciate after you've finished, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I will never claim to when I was studying know that. It's only from completing it that I now know that, and it's like, it's too late. But what's everyone working on today? What's the goal for the 2 hours or the hour or however long?
I think I will have a small speed sculpt. Flying head, something like this.
Hey, cool. I'm checking out everyone's what everyone's. Well, this is your screen. Cool. Yeah, you're doing a facial sculpt. Lan had a cool idea, which was just continually speed sculpting a new thing every week, which is quite a good idea.
I'm trying to do it daily. I don't know how long I could keep it up, but having fun. And then detailing it later down the line is the plan for now. The ones that I end up liking.
It would be kind of fun to have a themed minor speed sculpting session sometime. Maybe.
Why not tonight?
Yeah.
Well,
all right, everyone do what I'm doing.
Really good. Do you have a really good theme?
Well, we do that in the okay, you just set me up for a plug now. No, we do that in the members, it's based on from this one, this is what this is from. It's focusing on primary, secondary, and tertiaries. So those are pretty much themed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some loads of new people here. So got Brian, Eamon, Andres, Lesso. How's it going, guys? I'll check the chat.
Pretty good.
Hello.
Good. Thank you.
Colombia, we have such a wide range.
There we go.
Okay, I gotta ask about an issue I'm having in ZBrush at the moment. I don't know if it's anything that you encountered before, but I'm trying to assign a material to my model, but it's they're all just flattened out in the color. And then whenever I pick a material, I can take I don't know, metal, it goes like very like flat.
Do you have? Are you streaming it?
Yeah.
Do you have layers on your model?
No.
I will
It-
often
I-
have problems with materials and colors if I have layers.
Yeah. Yeah, I read about it when I tried to look it up, but I've have the original one here with all the subtools. And I then just made a merge visible into a single one, and then tried to assign the material. And whenever I did that, I can just try and do it here. Pick this one for example. And then
So
when I
I can show
fill
you.
it, no, now it, what the, Jesus Christ.
I can show you a couple of things.
Yeah.
It's very common.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just look at my screen, so the first thing is just double check that you've got the poly paint active. You know,
Yeah.
the little brush in the subtools. The next port of call is just double checking in the layers. Like, this is just in case anyone else has similar stuff. Like, there's also painted layers in there.
Yeah.
The other thing is you could accidentally have like a texture applied under texture maps.
Yeah.
So just make sure that that's unchecked. And then also, whenever you're filling a color, you're also filling a material channel. So, for example, like if I want to brush a metal on this guy,
Yeah.
and I fill object, that fills it with black. And then if I change material, everything's going to change. But
Yeah.
if I have this on here, press space, and then you see how you've got like, well, I'm in transpose mode. I have to sort of like go back to normal. Yeah. So you see how it says RGB and M.
Yeah.
So if you click M, that's then going to paint the material, because ZBrush is like a little bit different. It doesn't like assign, it fills with paint. So like imagine that you're painting the material and then you fill object, and then when you switch back, it's like it should stick. But here it hasn't, because it's I haven't got poly paints on, or I've masked it. You see how the shoulders have changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ZBrush. It's just a weird methodology for painting.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first started out using the program or the software, it really gave me some hours of digging in just to figure out how the interface worked and everything.
Yeah.
When I first tried ZBrush, I opened it and then closed it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took me about a couple of weeks to get used to it. After I changed the interface.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just recently I figured out that I could like personalize my interface, so just to ease up my workflow and everything.
It's actually the first session that I give to students is like doing that, because I know how important it is. See if How did you guys find out that the live event was happening?
Email.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yes, it worked. I was kind of like, it's hard to tell if it goes in the bin or something.
Mm.
Where is that concept from, Bertus? It really looks like something from Mass Effect.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think I got it off Pinterest. It looks like it's AI generated.
Oh, okay.
Hard to tell.
I think I'm gonna get some coffee too.
Sounds like a good idea.
Jack is coming off. Is getting serious now. Getting the sculpting heat. Or it could be my COVID that's just like heating up.
50-50.
Lasted longer than I wanted. I only wanted it for a day.
Oh, damn it!
Uh-oh.
I was not ready for that one.
Isn't that from Stephen He? Like, he does sketches.
Yeah, I
I
think
have
so.
no idea.
Ooh.
I'm back.
Hey,
Come back.
see some new faces. Hey, Vertigoid, and Discord's just popping up and blocking everything that I want to do. Vignac. Where are you guys from?
I'm from India.
Ah, welcome. We have a few people from India, actually. No mic, but more active next Friday. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, always come on the mic, and if you can, share your screen, and if you can even further, come on the webcam, because it makes a big difference to everyone. Really, it like has a multiplying effect. That's coming from someone who's taught 2 years online during COVID. So.
Oh, yeah.
Is there an opportunity in Discord to watch all the streams at the same time? I think there should be one, but maybe someone knows it.
Yeah.
No, I looked for it. Does anyone know?
Yeah, you have like the miniature icon for all of the, what's it called? It's called grid.
Okay.
In the upper right corner, and then you can add all the streams to the small grid. It's not perfect, but something.
Yeah, that's what I found. You have to like click each one manually.
Yeah, like the small icon.
So I just deleted all the participants who are not showing anything. So I see now Virus, Art Expedition, and myself.
If I do it, it destroys my bandwidth.
It's sounding like interference.
Oh.
Oh, show non-video participants. Apparently, I had all of the streams plus everyone who's not streaming. This was something new.
I I don't know,
My
but I
internet
can't
can't handle it.
see all the streams. I see just 4, and that's it. That's weird.
I just right-clicked on someone and show non-video participants.
Discord's trolling me. That's, the event won't leave me alone. If I say never mind, it keeps on popping back.
Oh, I forgot to
just-
start it.
Yeah, that's it. I think I was trying to do that, but you created the event, so
Yeah,
I have no control over it.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. But it's funny because if I try and look at people's settings, it pops up with that. It's weird. I can only see me and you, Lan, on my laptop.
Oh yeah.
Well, I see there's an icon if you press on the name in the list, you can see watch stream an eye icon, and it will add other streams to the grid.
Yeah.
Now I can see everyone.
I have to get my Starlink sorted before I can see all these streams all at once without destroying my own.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I have fiber optic internet.
And see and hear someone talk, either sound or video. But at home it works all right. All the streams at the same time.
Yeah.
So how do you guys like doing eyeballs for your characters? Anyone got some cool ideas?
I like making them like this. So it's somewhere here. I just make separate eye bags. And then I dynamesh them together. So I dig 2 holes, insert spheres, draw something like this, and extract eyeballs.
That's kind of how I do it. I think I made a video somewhere about it. You just lose track of where they are. The old Pac-Man extraction.
Interesting. I didn't know you did it this way.
Oh, I can show you. I can kind of show you here actually.
I think I
Um,
saw it from some other, well, YouTuber. I don't remember his name, and I thought, wow, it's a cool idea.
Yeah, no, it's really good because it sticks
Convenient.
to the eyeball, which is nice. You get the thickness of the lens,
Yeah.
or the eyelid.
How to practice sculpting cloth.
How to practice sculpting cloth? Well, just get loads of references of specific examples, and then try and replicate it as close as possible. I wouldn't worry too much about like all these special brushes and stuff. Doesn't make a difference. Could maybe use a little bit of simulation as well. That can add to the effect.
I used to sculpt draperies. Just find a reference for example, for artists who draw some still life or such, and they usually have a nice draperies on the background, and you can just sculpt these draperies.
All right,
What were you
thank you,
saying,
guys.
Yeah, when in doubt, traditional is a pretty good way. But the only thing that traditionals can't do is they can't manipulate their clay after. So it's like, but the restriction's quite good if you watch them because they can't mess up the first form. So it's like a good way to be quite like strict with yourself. What's everyone doing for the weekend? Is Olympics? I think like Olympics on today, isn't it?
A lot of sculpting, probably.
Yeah, sports are dangerous. It's better to just stay inside and sculpt.
Yeah, at least where I live, we have terrible weather right now. It's almost like a rainstorm coming across where I live. So I better stay inside.
It's horrible over here too.
Well, the benefit of that is you don't feel bad for staying inside.
No,
True.
exactly.
What I always
Except
find.
I have to. What is it called? I guess I'm a part-time firefighter, so I have to go out in this downpour and lightning for the past few days. It's been messy. It's almost magical to drive. I don't know. Is it 90 miles an hour in downpour and lightning? It's it's, it's kind of insane.
Jeez.
What was the shortcut for showing only a specific, like I can
Yes.
step down, but I,
Oh.
I can't recall the whole object, or not the whole object, but a polygroup. Like,
What to select it?
Control
yeah,
Shift, no?
because Control Shift Q, no, W, no, A.
Yeah,
Control
Control
Shift A.
Shift and tap the. Oh yeah, and
A.
then Control Shift A is like a marquee selector.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's X that steps. Yeah. Control Shift X steps forward and S backwards. So Vertis, when I was a student, I actually like timed how much time I spend on retopology and like how much time the different work, is it workflows? No, that's not the right term for it, but how much time I spent on different parts making a character.
Mm.
What's a realistic uh, I realize it's different for different types of characters, but I ended up with like 60 plus hours to make a character. Is that reasonable time for a professional? Or I'm assuming it's
I'd have
really
to
not.
see it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, a majority will be on high poly and texturing, hopefully. You know, like a pretty good character, I would expect. I'd start to get a little bit suspicious of a contractor at like no more than a month for like quite a complete character. You know, with it gear, hair, and all the bits.
Well, in a studio where I work, we have about 45 hours only for a high poly detailed cloth.
Okay.
Without retopo, without textures, 45 hours without, well, I don't know, not without, but with feedbacks. It's what you have for clothes, like boots, trousers, t-shirt, shirt, some kind of a jacket, and maybe a cap, hat, helmet, or whatever, and gloves. Just to understand how much clothes you need to do to make.
I don't know. I always had the most trouble with texturing. Honestly, it's like my Achilles heel. It takes way longer than I always expect.
I need to boost my texturing skills too.
Does the time limits you get also count for like junior artists if you got them there in your studio, or is it just basically for everyone?
You mean here?
Yeah, for example, or in the industry in general, how are like junior artists timed?
Well, it's for junior artists because I'm a junior.
Ah, okay. Nice.
It's really, 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 really different because it's like it's different per studio as well, and it's different on how much you're getting paid for it, how much experience you have. Like, there's so many factors. But a junior, like, you should have no fear being a junior because we give you a lot of time. Like, there's a lot of leeway, and there's also time for. Again, it depends how like organized the company is. Like, for example, we had metrics for actually like helping the artists, but if it's a smaller studio, they might not even have that kind of established. They could be quite mean. They could be like working you hard. It like depends. In general, like the faster you are, usually people prefer that more.
Of course.
But for important stuff, we wouldn't rush the art. But yeah, it's like a discussion you have. So like we go into a meeting and then I'll have metric points on how important the asset is. So if it's not important, then we'd like lower the quality in the time of it. It's like, oh, you don't have to spend too long on this, and it's just like a discussion that you have between two people. So it's almost the impossible question to answer. What else? What variables like? And then if it's getting close to launch, people usually throw out like unrealistic timing expectations.
Is it still common to have to do crunch?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And whoever says it's not is bullshitting you. It's just like,
It's
yeah,
panic mode for everyone.
well, it's just like anything. If you care about your job, like it's just there had been a very weird like signaling culture on some studios, and it was a big backlash over some studios just like taking advantage of that. But in any sort of studio where like you actually care about your characters and what you're making, and like you just do it because it's like it means a lot to you. Like that's it.
Makes sense. Take ownership. Of
Yeah, and it's yours, and like if you don't do it, it's like it looks bad. But yeah, we would never like really crunch. It just means that the planning's been bad. So if there's a crunch on, the only person's fault is the director
Mm.
for like
Yeah,
not
that makes
understanding
sense.
his artists and not understanding the scope of the project.
I always thought that it makes really sense, or it makes a lot of sense that you've underestimated, or at least made quite a faulty assumption of the project if you have to crunch a lot, like several months.
Yeah, and you
Isn't
can't plan for everything.
I think it's like sometimes the crunch could be caused due to the excessive amount of feedback and the loop backs of going back and fixing something that is way ahead in the production, and then there's a feedback from somebody that yeah, we don't need that, and then we need completely different thing, and it can loops
Changes.
back to something old, and then
It's, I think, the worst feedback when you got everything approved, retopo, textured, and then you get something like, oh, you need to change these things from the very beginning.
yeah,
Really annoying.
We
that's
fixed that
probably yeah.
fix that with the concept artist. So like, well, I won't start a character brief unless I've had a meeting with like a live concept artist and the character artist and the designer, and like it's so worth it. But studios cannot, like, they can't all afford that kind of resource and time. Do you know what I mean? So it's inevitable. It's
How did
creative as
you
well.
how did you land the positions you are in now?
The how far back? How far back shall I go?
You decide, man.
Uh,
Whatever you find relevant.
yeah. Yeah, I was. Well, I mean, so when I was looking for a role,
Mhm.
I think it was on Polycount. I put some, but I was also looking at getting into lecturing at the same time. And the way it worked out, which was quite funny, is I landed the same roles on the same day. Like I got the confirmation on the same day of both, and then so I decided to take them both. But like it was through being contacted through Polycount by one of the leads at the time, who's like putting a project together, like the project manager.
Mhm.
And then I was a character creature artist for a good time, and then we started to contract out like more work to artists, and as the company was growing, I was just taking on the tasks of talent hunting, interviewing, and just finding a good team.
Mhm.
And then I naturally just fell into character art lead, and then quite quickly turned into the general 3D lead, and
Yeah.
then finally the art director, because I started to do I was just getting very involved with the game itself and like all the workings of that, and so yeah, it was just like a natural progression.
Okay.
Before that, I had another like lead role, but it was in my own company, so it was almost like self-appointed, you know, because we had a smaller team. So I was doing that anyway. So I had background in doing that process, and so I think that's why I like fell into it.
Mhm.
I would assume that being an art lead has more to do with working with people than being an art director. Is because I think the path is different. If you're gonna be a, what is it called? I think there are different names for the positions, but you can be like a. It's not called a senior. I think it was a different name for it, but like a senior character artist, and then there is like a next level type of character artist, but you still
Like a
do
principal.
the work of a
Yeah,
character artist.
probably principal.
Principal
Like
artist, yes, exactly.
The roles they call themselves, they make up
They
what they
make up.
want. So it's just there's no like team selection that you can do in like striker, defense, center back. It's like the person just decides what they're called.
Okay.
Some people don't like having those sorts of so many layers of hierarchy, and then if sometimes they do, depends how big it is.
Hello, how do you feel, Virtus,
Hello.
with your illness?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm getting better every day. Still not great,
Awesome.
but getting better every day. How you doing?
All right, I would say starting a new character project in parallel with my and other stuff, because I noticed I like vehicles a little bit too boring for me, and I need to. And if I'm let's say not doing vehicles, I could do something else. I would say. So starting a new character. as
You're
well.
going to have an interview, right? No? Was it
Can you
you who were going to make to do test task? No.
Yeah, regarding the test task, I've sent it in time, but they somehow still didn't respond, and it's quite irritating, to be honest. But I hope they at least will say me something, because it happened a few times when you do a test task, you receive it as a feedback many weeks later. I hope it
Okay.
won't be the case, but yeah.
I was just wonder how you doing with all this. I mean,
I
if
managed to
you
do it.
manage, okay, that's great.
Yeah, I would say I even finished it a day earlier before the deadline, but I decided to like sleep over it and look at it once again, and I managed to do a few fixes, but nothing substantial.
Great.
So in this case, it was all right. But the ball is not on my side anymore.
Cool.
You don't have to worry about it anymore, then.
I mean, yeah, but it's
I know the feeling.
it's still annoying. It's been almost a week.
Keep going, man. Look at the next one. You're doing a good job, you know. You've almost got to forget, like, we were actually talking about this the other day within the members, is like, I shared the experience with someone else who also had the same experience. So it's like, I used to try and track who had
Yeah,
responded and
it's
who
me.
hadn't. Oh, was it you?
Yeah, I was talking about
Oh, okay.
double init track.
Oh, I thought it was 3D Maniac Blood guy.
I think there were all of us. I mean, 3D Maniac and all same
Well, there you
people.
go. You're living it. You're living it. The experience, and your experience will soon become a story
Oh, I really
that you
hope
forget,
so.
like I did.
I really hope so.
Hey, man, we'll tell that story as well once it happens.
On the topic, actually, I think I've reapplied for after like a year to a company who does really cool stuff. But I think they ignore me now because I used to be as a student. I didn't realize how difference uh, of work that I should have had for applying. It feels like they don't respond to me anymore, which is no hard feelings, I guess. But is there something that makes what's it? I can't really formulate this well. Is there a time limit on reapplying to a studio?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
So never be like embarrassed or like shamed to when they say that they like keep your portfolio and stuff, like they're not paying attention and they won't remember you. So just
Yeah.
like if you feel like your portfolio is updated and you have another shot, then take the shot because they're not going to go, oh, it's this. They might remember you if you're memorable, but
Most likely not.
yeah, they don't care either. Like we don't
Okay.
care. We just sieve
Yeah,
through
good.
portfolios, and it's not like he posted it twice this month. How could? And then they're like offended for the rest of the day. They're just like next. So you just, it's fine.
I guess
If
what I
anything,
was,
you'll stick in their head.
yeah, I guess I was more worried about me embarrassing myself, I guess, because I've applied
Yeah, no,
to them basically once a year for the past, I don't know, 4 years.
no.
Vertus,
Yeah, it's weird.
can
You just
you
have to
check the
relax.
chat? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, you just got to throw that by the side. It's what I've been learning, doing live stuff and throwing my things out there. Chat. Whoa. need to massage my eyes to read this. So can you give a portfolio feedback? Questioning if, in terms of industry, you've been an artist for 11 years. It's cool. And I first started in 2013 with Blender. Oh, that must have been really, really underdeveloped Blender back then. So yeah, I feel those struggles, man. That's difficult. Yeah, so my advice would be to focus on the free stuff like Blender. If you do have that option, ZBrush is going to be the big excelling force in your ability to gain a skill that's like really important for where you want to go. And in terms of portfolio feedback, yeah, we can do it at some point. I do probably best post that in the works in progress when I have time to do that. Apart from that, we do every month in the members a feedback session, and that's the perfect opportunity to get like allocated time for we do portfolio reviews and also the just general feedback. Or to be honest, you can just turn up any week because I'm going live every week, and we can just do it then and there. It's kind of laid back. Yeah, welcome to the stream, man.
How did we like hide the spotlight projection circle that shows up on the screen?
Shift Z? No?
It hides the whole like the texture as well that is on the screen.
Seb, you have observer issues, and we work through. Yeah, sometimes this is happening without my knowledge, and it's kind of out of the control of what I can see because it's like I don't know really what's going on with them. Well, we can try some additional things. I mean, unless you've cleared out your like cache or tried a new browser, like done all those sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I've tried most of it now. Like I said, I worked through with Expedition as well. You kind of just like, don't really know. Not a huge deal. Just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on it or anything like that. Or I don't know if it was possible for like an override or something.
Yeah, no, I can do that.
It's
think
weird
there is-
because the
there is
States
just-
doesn't really have any restrictions regarding it.
I think it's about
Yeah.
Vimeo, not about Patreon. Because I
Yes.
tried to clear history, accept cookies, and all the other stuff, but the latest video is not loading.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it was with the one before, like 2 months ago, yeah?
I was just saying,
Well,
I have
the same.
access to all the YouTube stuff. Like that's working on the YouTube end. It's just the Discord
integration.
end. Yeah.
Okay. Well, quick fix. I can just like give you access to that, and then I will naturally forget, and then you'll have unlimited free.
Much
Yeah, I
appreciated.
don't know. So unfortunately, like, you know, as with these softwares and stuff, they just change their sources. So the Vimeo and Patreon interaction, they're two different companies, of course. So
Mhm.
like they don't talk to each other. And so when they
Oh, yeah,
change
yeah,
stuff, it just
no
breaks.
worries. Yeah.
But
I'm good. I figured I'd just catch you while you're here because I don't want to, reach out in other ways. And I
yeah,
know you
no,
got a lot going on.
now we got to fix it. Got to fix it for it to
Much
work.
appreciated.
Yeah, no, anytime, man. Just Seb, I'll remember. I'll write that down. But yeah, but the Patreon one should be fixed because on Patreon you can actually just like upload a video directly now. It used to be the case that you couldn't do that, so you had to do it through Vimeo. And so I bought a year's worth of Vimeo, and then they released that the next week. But it's more streamlined, which is nice. So that's a really good point. Really good feature. On that note, guys, like I highly suggest joining the members. We literally do this every week, but it's a bit more structured. So it cycles through like on the first week we do like an introduction of a new topic. So something you is more specific to workflows and stuff. And then after that is we implement it in a workshop. So last one when we actually started on this, it was like primary, secondary, and tertiary forms. And all the guys, a couple of guys here, we all made like aliens pretty quickly in an hour, which was quite fun. And then this Wednesday will be the implementation, although I might have to not be there because I've got the university graduation, so I might leave like a video for that, or like a task that everyone can sort of like catch up on. And then the following week we do feedback, which is any project and portfolio reviews if you're looking to get an industry slot. Right, I'm going to check out on everyone else. How we going? I don't think I've got very far. I didn't even know what I was doing, to be honest. I started coloring his eyes red, and I was like, wait a minute, I haven't even got to this painting stage. What am I doing? I'm one CPU allocated to that.
I like to have a character's eyes colored when I work. It makes the character look at you, and with such nice red areas, makes it look at you really angry.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's unfortunately ZBrush has, obviously there's so many things that could be better with ZBrush, we know that, but one thing I really, really wish they had was like decent eye rendering, real-time eye rendering, because that is like, everyone's making characters, you need to have like decent eye presentation, and probably a more advanced painting, not just poly paint. I think that's what I'd like. How about you guys? What sort of features?
Yeah, I would also love to like have a painterly stuff texturing in ZBrush. That would be awesome.
A little bit like 3D
3D
code or
code?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
The real cameras would be nice, like Maya, so you can actually get proper field of view.
I think they added something for the rendering for the realistic cameras, I think. But I don't remember. It was like a few versions ago before they got bought by Maxon.
Yeah, you can get pretty close. I think if we go hunting in the menus, it will be under either render. I very rarely change it unless it's for like because I'll take the presentation outside of ZBrush. But there's some camera settings where you can change the depth of field and stuff.
Yeah, my teacher May professor was talking about this, how it's like a kind of a fake camera in here, where it's, if you compare like the focal length of the camera itself to the like a Maya camera of the same focal length, it actually shows pretty different features.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not I don't know what the render, maybe the render setup. I'm talking about like the viewport camera.
Yeah, when you're inside a perspective and
yeah, he took like 2 screenshots of the same thing, of the same like us, especially for heads with the perspective warping and like what you could see and what you couldn't see with the ZBrush camera versus like a Maya camera.
the only thing I challenge with him or her is like it does depend on the size, because if you aren't matching ZBrush to Unreal Engine, then the size is gonna like skew that test, if that makes sense. But
You mean models
they're very different.
size?
Yeah.
There is a nice feature in ZBrush. If you open 3D Print Hub, you can establish the size you want, and it will and when you export your model, it will be exactly the same size as you said. Really convenient.
Where again?
Z plugin, 3D Print Hub, update size rations.
Nice, yeah. Very important to get the scales
okay.
straight away.
I tend to use GoC and establish the scale from Blender. Actually, I don't know.
Hey, go Z when it works, when it's not breaking.
Yeah.
So do you know what? I love Gozi. It's one of the best things ever, but I now don't use it because it's so unstable over time, over my years, that I just had to like let it go
You've
because it was
lost
like
too much.
an unsafe. Well, no, it's just an unsafe workflow because it was not dependable. Like, oh, okay, now it's not working because Maya updated, ZBrush is updated.
Oh yeah, that's so
Well,
annoying.
I should check, but there is another add-on or plugin that helps to export and import meshes from Maya and Blender and ZBrush without any problems. If I find, I saw it yesterday. If I find, I'll set it into general chat later tonight.
Yeah, nice one. I mean, what we'll do on the course and like what I do in production is basically get it through the engine workflow straight away. So like get an engine asset and then trail it backwards through the workflow, and then you definitely know it's going to hook up, because sometimes programmers might be changing stuff, or like animators might have a rig. So what I'll do is I'll send like I'll use a base mesh straight from Unreal that an animator is using, or a tech artist, and then just like build from that. And then what you guys do in your teams is like you lock it in, and that's becomes the defining scale in your projects.
It must be faster as well.
Definitely when you're a contractor, like that's actually how you make your money, is the shortcuts. There's something quite funny here. I'm using my laptop, which has a delay, to kind of like rescale this guy from a distance. Kind of a quirky way of matching a reference. I mean, as long as it passes the vibe check, it obviously doesn't matter. But you know, as long as it looks the same, I really fall prey to trying to get a bit too close to the reference. That's like a really bad thing that I do, because it's one, it doesn't actually matter, and you will never hit the reference because it's not 3D. So that can be quite difficult. Your concept artist will appreciate you though. They'll be like honored.
Yeah.
Oh, we have such a full house here. Loads of people. How's it going, chat? Who's still around in the text chat?
Hey Margarita, how was your first weeks starting to work professionally?
What?
as
Uh,
a 3D artist or character artist?
when I just started,
Yeah.
mm,
Was it a relief to enter the industry, or was it hectic?
well, at some point it was a relief because I really needed a job at that moment. And I was really happy that I got a response at first and then managed to make a test task. I mainly just make high poly sculpts at work.
That sounds kind of awesome, though.
Yeah, but I like medieval style, sci-fi, or something more fantasy.
And you don't
Like,
do that at work?
no,
Or-
at all. I just do hard surface.
Oh, okay.
I hate hard surface. But, well,
Congratulations,
maybe,
though.
Yeah.
maybe one day. Well, I worked there for a year already, even a bit more. And I have 2 other jobs too. So, where I sew clothes for characters and make high poly sculpts of just clothes.
That's pretty awesome.
Is that a Marvelous Designer or Glow or
I
anything?
used Marvelous Designer, but I recently changed to Glow 3D. They're quite the same, but I might say that Claw is somehow better. I don't know. It's working with layers in more convenient way, and in Marvel Designer, even if you set layers and your clothes stopped simulating quite nicely when you cancel layers, they begin to merge together. I mean, like t-shirt side and sleeves, and it's really annoying.
Mm.
And in Claw, you can even push it close to each other, but they won't merge. I don't know what's the better word.
Had some like, I don't know who they were. I guess it was a software company, but they were looking for me to like promote their software. And I looked at it. It was like, it looked pretty good. I'd never heard of it before. I forgot the name, but there's
Atelier, yeah? Atelier 3D.
Maybe. I have no idea.
It's a Chinese one.
I didn't look at it very long. But the place I teach, it's like attached to a fashion studio as well. And so the students there like they use Clo for actual clothes, which is really cool. Which was what the software's first intention was. And then games people and real-time people just stole it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
So I want to ask a question, but it might be a bit silly. But I'm still a student, so I really need a perspective from you guys.
Yeah, no question is silly. Everyone,
Okay.
like there'll always be someone to appreciate it, you know.
So through the application process, is it ever brought up like the diploma versus portfolio issue? is it ever brought up, or is it just like they just focus on the portfolio and not from the which school you're, if you ever have had a diploma or not? Like, was the question clear? I'm not
Yeah.
a good English speaker.
What a silly
but-
question. No.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, interesting. So the answer is like I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but like the diploma really doesn't matter. Like if you're looking for character or anything like that, it's just the portfolio.
Unless you move into another country. And it won't be a studio, it would be like immigration policy of the country or
Yeah.
something. This is the only thing which might care about your diploma.
Oh, I
Which
see.
was the case for me, but
So
in terms of work,
yeah.
I never ever had during the interviews diploma being questioned.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's
I've
cool.
I actually made a video on that if you're interested. It's kind of like not a lots of views one, but it's just I think the thumbnail is just like a piece of paper or something, but it goes through comparing
Mhm.
like types of learning,
I mean,
and I go over that.
I've been watching lots of videos, but it's also like a family problem. Like I live in Turkey and my family cares about the diploma, so I just
Yeah.
make both sides
know.
happy. But I actually know portfolio matters a lot more than diploma. Like actually, yeah.
It's
But
really difficult. It's really
yeah.
difficult when because that's a traditional. Just try and give as much information as you can. You know, just try and
Mhm.
explain it patiently and just describe it. You know, but
Like
yeah.
I can completely understand and the feeling that you might be having because like I've been there because it's the same way that way in my country, like in Pakistan people are like that.
Mhm.
'Cause, like parents would be like worried about that you might not be earning enough if you're in this particular field because they don't know about it. They
Mhm.
have no idea how much the pays are and everything. And then once I got the actual job at Pixel, my father was like, "Yeah, and now I can relax. Like you are at a good place and you are earning well enough and everything." Then yeah, before that it was just up in the air and constant like arguments, and then he would be angry at me like, "You what are you doing with your life and everything?" But yeah, that is something
Yeah, I see
I
that.
can understand. Yeah,
So thank you.
That's a really good insight, man. Yeah, that's one of the additional
it's mostly
pressures, isn't
just
it?
the yeah, it's just mostly the cultural like it's mostly related to their fear of us not being able to sustain ourselves. The parents are mostly worried about that in our culture, at least. So it's because parents usually, like over here, parents usually live with their children. Children choose to keep their parents because it's a part of our religion that we have to take care of our parents because they brought us up from
Mhm.
childhood and everything. Like that's one of the things that like we should be grateful for what they did. They sacrificed all their life, and then just not giving back to them is unfair to their whole like life. Like it's not like they. Some people are sometimes like saying like, "Oh, I didn't choose to be born. They chose to give birth to me and everything." And but then still, like they wanted children, they had you, and then they spent their whole life taking care of you, sacrifice so much. They do so much for you, and in the background, and then the children are like, "Yeah, what did you even do for me? They brought you up, they fed you like when they couldn't feed themselves. What the hell are you talking about?" But yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand a
no, I
lot. I
totally agree.
relate a lot.
Yeah, because like it's quite close. Like Turkey and Pakistan are quite similar in many ways. We're just
It's really difficult. It would just
one
have me
random.
thinking that, like, Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Please go ahead. It's just a random question anyway.
Oh, I was just to wrap that up. I was like at university, like when the open days come and stuff, it's like they're not advertising to the students, they're advertising to the parents. So it's like they get through that. And it's really like not
Yeah.
moral, I don't think.
Yeah, like I go to a well-known university, and my parents sent me there because it's the like #1 in Turkey, but like they teach nothing, like and I have to pay for every year and got no information. Everything I learned is just from YouTube and just figuring things out by myself.
Yep.
Mostly the same here as well. No institute or anything is actually involved in teaching all of this. It's the people who are passionate enough, they just learn from their own, just go to YouTube, get online courses, pay for them, and then it's hard. It's even just the currency differences and everything that I have to go through, and like everybody I've seen go through. And it's the dedication everybody has because to be in this industry.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
100%. Hey, this, I say to many people is like, it's called 3D mutiny for a reason. I'll let you work out the rest. Well, I tell you what, guys, I haven't even been paying attention, and it feels like, I don't know, where I started and when I finished. It doesn't feel like I've been sculpting it, but it's like done. Not done, but you know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute. What was the question you were going to ask? I think you were going to mention something.
Yeah. I just generally wanted to know, like, what's the importance of, like, from the art director perspective, vegetation art as its own thing. Like, is it any valuable, or like, I know it's a part of the environment art thing, but then like, as a vegetation artist, is it any valuable to the studios and stuff?
Yeah. No, I've taken on full-time like vegetation artists, and some of them are working at like Ubisoft now, but I think like it's a very specific thing. It's maybe a little less secure job wise with the introduction of the latest kind of procedural things.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, because right now I'm specifically just working on the vegetation at my job, and then I was just curious, like, is it even, because like I from somebody I got a viewpoint of like, well, vegetation, nobody cares about vegetation because like it's just a part of the environment. They just throw it on the ground and then that's it. Nobody cares like if it looks good or not, unless it's a full environment art portfolio kind of a thing. That's the more important thing, not the, like, one of the YouTubers was saying that to me. I just randomly asked. It was,
Like
the gist of it, the whole
I can
point was
assume
like,
that they were like a character artist or something, and they'd never.
Not really a prop artist or prop
Oh.
characters. Like they do versatile stuff, but yeah.
I don't know. It's if everyone thinks that, then the last person who is that vegetation artist is suddenly very valuable. Like it's always hard
Yeah.
to tell. It's so interesting. There's no one can predict, like, because artists are a market. So, it's just like supply and demand. So all it takes is, who's going to be creating the systems. I mean, it just changes. Jobs just change, don't they? Like, so instead of making people would just make the vegetation in ZBrush used to be. And then SpeedTree came along, and then they integrated the both, and made layouts in ZBrush and put them on the billboards. And now it's just changing again. So it's just like only just
Yeah.
adapts, doesn't it?
There's like so many new tools coming out. Like the one, the Houdini has one that like the internal pipeline of the Houdini, some project they're working on. They're doing some like procedural growth of like trees, and then there's a lot of different features in that as well. It looked interesting. But yeah,
Houdini is a very good place to be if you're thinking about like job positioning.
Yep.
We like a lot of the roles, man, I was hunting for someone, like I was ready to just, whatever you want, just be here. Because they're so
I
rare.
understand.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, but it's good to have skills in everything, like I've done vegetation and landscaping and stuff. And it's been useful in a couple of roles and future roles and stuff.
Nice.
To make a tree, you have to understand like how it spawns itself. It starts really
Oh
large and
yeah.
then it splits off into smaller, and then that's you can translate that philosophy back into like sculpting reeds, and then it's all beneficial, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like there's so much nuance in just the smallest of the plants, because like I just do plants, and then every single other plant that I make has a different challenge with it. 'Cause not every other plant would be the same. 'Cause like every other plant that you start making, it'll have a completely different structure, and then the way it will grow, and then the look should match the way it is in real life and stuff. Like there's so much nuance in there.
Mm. Oh man, I bet you went through the same thing that I did. Is like when you first went to go out and study the trees to translate that into 3D, you were like, holy moly, there's so many notes
Yeah.
to take. Even the sense of like where they originally spawn, like some of them spawn in duality, some of them spawn staggered, and then there's
Yeah.
obviously like the rate at which that decays or increases. It's just there's so many like metrics there.
Yeah, the light has to be a certain way. Unless the light is not reaching a certain branch, it will fall off as well, and then you have to take that into account. Like you can't have a dense area at the top where there'll be a branch at the bottom, and then if it's not getting enough light, it should be called off, and then it should have been broken off anyway. But yeah, those things matter a lot as well. Like it's so much interesting stuff happening on the trees, and the like even the smallest bushes have so many different details that we miss in general.
It sounds like my granny who is growing some stuff on her yard.
I
This
love
tree needs
plants. You should
some
see me. I'm
light,
surrounded.
some.
Definitely is the case though. Yeah. Like if you talk to any vegetation artist, like I've talked to so many, like even the technical artist or the vegetation artist just making 3D art, they are like all like knee deep into every smallest of the detail of the plant, and then they're like, yeah, maybe you can change it a little bit from here, like just that leaf should not be there, and then it should be moved a little down or something. And then it's like the minute things that make change makes it like a lot better, even looking look wise as well. That
I have a question for you. Do you enjoy the technical aspect as well, like the
the vegetation art.
spawning of
Yeah,
vegetation? Yeah.
uh, yeah, definitely. It's like it's interesting how to approach each plant. It's the problem solving part of it is like really good. 'Cause it gives you, it never tires you out. 'Cause you get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. When you have a new thing popping up in every other task that you start, it's really interesting. It just keeps your interest and keeps you engaged in the production of it.
I think it depends on the person. As for me, making plants quite the same. I mean, you as well as making characters, of course, you do the same stuff over and over with some maybe minor changes, like another leaves or different branches. I don't know, but still the process is the same, no?
It's from the bird's eye view, it would be probably just the same thing over and over. But yeah, there are smallest of the details that
Mhm.
make the difference. It's like there'll be leaves. It's a leaf after all, but it will have a different shape in a different plant, and then the way it turns or like the way it grows in size has a different pattern as well. It's interesting to keep the lookout on how it's growing, because like you don't have to just create just one plant which is like fully grown and stuff. It's like we have to have like a spectrum of like the sapling to a whole plant, and then the trees will have their own things. So yeah,
Do you use photoscan leaves or
yes,
you texture them yourself?
I know.
Photoscan?
Yep,
Okay.
scans. So let me put the cat out of the bag. So I think most of you have heard of megascans.
Yeah.
So yeah, I make the megascans vegetation.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
Yeah.
I have
So
probably
you
used your
photoscan
stuff.
them?
Yeah, more
The plagiarized work I see in the environment students. I'm like, that's Megascan. You
Yeah.
can't trick me. I've seen every single base mesh and every single Megascan.
Yeah. People probably are not that interested. Like majority of the people are not that excited with the vegetation stuff. So I think that makes sense that they just use megascans because like it's available. Why not just use that?
Saves a lot of time.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, it's all we use in the industry now. Nice to see people on cam, hardworking. What's everyone's setups like?
I'm running a unnecessary spaceship with like 4 screens and stuff. Completely unnecessary.
Nerd.
Yep.
I wish I had 4 screens. I only have 2.
I always show this bad boy. Have you seen this
Oh, that's nice.
mouse? It's not a 3D mouse, but it's just like a normal mouse.
That look nice. Well, I wish we had the space mouse available in my country because like I've been yearning to get that, but it's not available. If it is, it's like 3x the price, and I'm not willing to pay 3x. Like it's already expensive enough.
No, don't do it. You don't want to attach yourself to a space mouse. You have everything you need on the keyboard with your mouse. You can navigate 3D just fine. Just remember what problem are you solving when you get a 3D mouse? Do you have problems navigating in 3D?
Nope.
Do you need a space mouse? Or is it that people buy space mice and then they get sponsorships and then they sell space mice?
Yeah.
Hey,
I
my
would
suggestion
say
is
so, yeah.
like, yeah, you will be really good at moving around in 3D, and there's nothing you can't do with your Alt key and your main pen. And it's you wouldn't play World of Warcraft with hotkeys around you for all your abilities and your fast reaction speeds, and then have your movement off to the left on another keyboard. You'd never ever do that in World of Warcraft. You would never get to the top raids. You'd never be so like you wouldn't do that with art. You want to
What
have
if you're
like
a clicker? Come on.
Yeah, there are mythic raiders that are clickers.
hey, if you want to be the best
Don't
clicker
be
in
rude.
town,
Yep.
then go ahead, get the space mouse.
We had a guy in the guild. He was only using the mouse clicking for everything, moving and spell casting and everything. I was like, no. Oh my god,
That's hilarious, man.
that's not good.
Nah, it's the same concept.
Do we have any mouse users in ZBrush? Because I had a friend who's doing like 90% with a mouse. I don't know why.
I have some funny anecdotes for this.
I used to be.
Been there.
I use
Before I could,
the mouse for
get one.
the move tool.
Oh, okay.
I can literally just sit with the move tool for about an hour and never touch the tablet.
I'm using like
That's,
ZBrush.
your mouse is the space mouse.
Yep.
What else ZBrush for Z modeler?
Instead of a space mouse, you can just have another mouse on the left side and then just use that as to move around.
I've already got 3.
Oh, you.
I actually did used to do that because I had one that was had a broken middle mouse button. So I had one that I like using and then one just for the mouse button. I quickly got rid of that though. It's kind of annoying.
What for do you need the middle mouse button for 3D? I just can't remember when I used it at all. I mean, the view button, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
no.
mostly just for rotating if you use Blender. That's about it.
Ah, I see. I usually use Maya.
Oh yeah, it's probably just one of those like Max versus Maya thing as well. Because now probably Blender versus Maya thing. Like the Max users use navigation for middle mouse, and Maya users use like right click. I'm assuming because I'm not using Maya. I used Max when I was learning.
Yeah, the amount of mice I've broken because of the middle mouse button in 3D is unreal.
Same. I think I've broken about 4, but it's mostly from World of Warcraft, not 3D.
Little ZBrush.
I remember I
Billion
broke
long
keyboard
kind of
when I
mesh.
was cool. What?
So at uni, what I do is like, because everyone comes in and they are attached to the mouse, because that's just like, it's what you do when you're on a computer. And then so what I found over the years is like to actually go around and like unplug all the mice or put them on top of the tower. And then I'll go around and I'll see people have like taken them back and then put them there and like they're using it for 3D. Like, no. It's for your own good.
Sneaky.
I mean, in my case, there usually were like 1 or maybe 2 people who didn't want to use tablet in any like way. One was, I mean, maybe it's legit. I have no idea. Was mentioning he has a wrist problem, and maybe it's true. But I think if you like doing sculpting with the mouse, you will have more wrist issues actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are like always been like 1 or 2 people in a group who like, no, I'm gonna use mouse. I don't like tablets.
Correct.
They're
Yeah,
weird.
unfortunately, it's exactly the same.
I mean, but usually like the students they didn't pursue 3D at least sculpting. They were more in different stuff, so I didn't mind.
Well, when I came from my village to our city house, I had to left my tablet there and have to sculpt with a mouse for like a week, and it's just horrible. I think you can't control anything. Just crazy.
Yeah, without pen pressure, it's just a torture.
Yeah.
Or you can
Yeah, I've
like
done.
set it really, really low. Like I also had a situation when I got to use, I only was able to use mouse like for a brief period of time. What I was doing is to like set sensitivity really, really low and like spam clicking, so it's kind of emulate like pressure. But it's bad. I wouldn't recommend it.
And not really convenient to draw straight lines and some other stuff that you can easily do with a pen.
Yeah.
You just struggle when you use a mouse.
Yeah, that's true.
On the topic, I have to ask you guys, because I actually I invested in a Cintiq like a couple of years in my student years, and then I got such a back pain from sitting like I don't know, most of the days in front of that Cintiq. I was like a shrimp curled over this Cintiq for years, and then I go back to my Intuos, and it's just gone. I don't have the pain anymore because I don't sit like a shrimp over the work.
Well, I use a screen tablet too, but I put my chair really low and I sit straight, and my screen is about, well, I think 60 or 65 degrees, so it's almost up. And I don't have any back pain.
I faced
using
this. Sorry, go ahead.
regular tablet.
What?
Okay, I'll say I've been only using like regular tablet, and so I can't give much insight. But for me, it looks like you're like kind of a little bit sabotaging yourself on the screen. You like your hand is always in the way. This is how I feel it would be like, but I never actually tried, so I probably wrong about that, and it's my misconception. But
It is pretty nice to see what you're doing.
I mean, you're looking at the screen anyway.
Yeah.
Not just being as direct.
Well, if you use small laptop, I think at least one nice screen is a must.
I mean, in this case, yeah, totally. But I have quite big monitor on the PC, so I don't.
I started from 15 inches laptop and one screen, and you need to put references there, ZBrush, and sometimes other stuff, and not quite nice.
One thing that I faced in when I got my Huion, the display tablet, I was facing the same thing because like I had to like look down. I usually keep my chair high, so that the thing that helped me instead was having a monitor arm to place the display tablet on, so you can like raise it up so it's to your eye level, and then it's not going to make you like look down with your neck pains and stuff. So that helped me quite a bit. Like they're quite cheap as well, so you can find them like it's not that heavy, the display tablets, or probably Cintiqs are. But yeah, you can mount it on a good monitor arm, and then that should do the trick.
Yeah, mine broke, so I didn't want to invest in another one. And I also tried something which was cheaper actually, and that was what is it called? A keyboard like shelf,
Yeah.
which was pretty nice. But yeah, it's one way to go about it. definitely.
I did the same. I got rid of. I say it's to loads of people. I got rid of my Cintiq, and there's only ways to justify the inevitable of like the wear and tear that it gives your body. That's the one thing. And then yeah, there's that hand thing that sort of covers it up. Like if you were gonna make a structure out of spaghetti and like combine it together with elastic bands and like marshmallows, the last thing you'd want to do is have it like a little piece hanging out like this with an elastic band there and like a marshmallow. Like it will eventually just start to degrade, and then the tightness of that band will go down. It's like that's what your body is, and you have to keep everything really close and central to you if you want to survive the kind of hours that are needed for that kind of art. And it's important. It's really important. It's like health.
I used to not care until I got the pain.
I think you only care after you've done it for like 10 years. And before that, it doesn't seem that it matters at all, or if that it's real.
Back pain is
Yeah.
fake.
It only took me.
Conspiracy
It only
theory.
took me an hour. No, not an hour. It only took about a year or two to discover that with the Cintiq. It's like, fucking hell. I had the big mechanical arm as well, so I could put it here. I could put it down here on my side. I had the armrest up here. I had like multiple scenarios,
Oh,
and I'd be putting in like 6 or 8 hours or whatever minimum. But there's loads of products. Just keep it simple. All you need is a nice little keyboard, nice little Wacom, and you can make everything.
it's really is it underrated? I don't know if I'd say that, but it's really decent. After having had a Cintiq, like a medium, not a large Intuos, medium Intuos gets you really far. I don't know why I bought a large one. It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, unless you're a concept artist, you want those broad strokes with your arm mechanics.
Oh.
But when you're sculpting, you want to be lost. You want to be immersed in. You kind of forget that you're sculpting something. You just like it connects you, and you can't see your body. You're just like sculpting something. Right, guys. I think I'm gonna head off. Been awesome catching up with everyone. This is like a really large group. Talked about some interesting things. It's only me that's going off, so everyone's welcome to stay forever.
Have a nice day. See you. It
Yeah,
was
have a
nice
good day.
to sit and chat here. Bye.
Yeah.
And get well soon as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually gonna do. Go straight to bed. Right. Catch you around, guys. Bye bye.
See you.
So yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.